Hello again, and welcome to another episode of All About Danville. It's presented by Wilkins and Company Realtors. Hampton Wilkins not able to be with us today, but he's with us in spirit, of course. I'm Chuck Vipperman, and our guest today is Dr. Tiffany Franks. She is president of Averett University. She's a little shy when it comes to talking about Averett, so you might have to... Not at all.
Real shy, right?
You have been an absolute spitfire since coming here 15 years ago, and it has been pure energy, pure positivity, and we are reaping the benefits. You are visible in the community. Averett is involved in things... pretty much anything that's worthwhile in the community, Averett's got at least a hand in it. And
we try.
It's not a coincidence. You have been very intentional about moving Averett beyond the four walls on West Main and North Side, out into pretty much every nook and cranny of the community. Not an accident.
Absolutely not an accident, Chuck. I promise you, from day one. In fact, when Joe and I were announced as coming to Averett, I can remember standing on those beautiful steps of Main Hall on our historic main campus, and I said, Averett University is the hometown university for this community, and I said the stronger Averett is, the stronger the region will be. The stronger the region is, the stronger Averett. I've always thought of them as absolutely synonymous. And I hope that whenever one talks about Averett, they will always think about our commitment to community engagement. Mm-hmm. I would just tell you, it's foundational to our students' experience.
True.
Absolutely foundational. And I often say we could not have a more incredible learning lab for our students and for the community.
Well, it's supposed to be, like you say, reciprocal. The community certainly benefits, but let's talk about just a few tangible things that have happened between 2008 and 2023. Again, years tick by very quickly.
Yes,
once
they
you get
do.
Past but this... the way we're delivering education today and just 15 years ago, which is not a long amount of time, folks, okay, is completely different. A lot of it's technology, but a lot of it is, again, in the new way people regard higher education. You have a lot of non-traditional students now, more so than, but there's just, even in that 15 years, a lot has changed, not just at Averett, but in the world of universities.
Well, it absolutely has. And I think one of the things I often say is when it comes to our students, we have to think about learning, working, earning. And it's all about making certain that we're taking advantage of this learning lab, giving our students hands-on learning experiences that truly allow them to discover, develop, dream, imagine what's possible for their lives. And so whether they're in their first year at Averett or they're a senior, having those hands-on learning experiences has been just critical.
It can't be replicated anywhere else. I mean, it's just the beauty of it, yeah.
No. And then when I just reflect upon the impact in our community, I think that's just been tremendous because our community partners are winning along the way, just as our students are able to win. Yeah. But no, there's been a lot of changes in education. Students today, they want more flexible learning options.
They demand it because they can get it up. If you can't provide it, somebody can.
That's exactly right. And, COVID, we know...
That's almost like an asterisk on the society. COVID.
I hate to even bring it up, but there's no doubt it changed the world.
Yes.
It did change higher education in that students expect that flexibility like never before. So they want to be able to learn face-to-face. They want to be able to have some online classes. We like to think of it at Averett as anytime, anywhere.
Yeah.
And we can do that.
That's it, yeah. Well, it's weird, again, more COVID talk, so adjust for before COVID, I mean, most schools had embraced distance learning. Obviously, a lot of distance learning going on at Averett, but COVID proved that there's no substitute for that face-to-face, and we don't miss it till we don't have it, and now we're in the aftermath of that.
Oh, that face-to-face, nothing can replace that. And, you mentioned Averett and distance education, adult education through the years. We've been serving the adult learner for over 35 years, which is just phenomenal.
Particularly when you think about the technology 30-plus years ago. But you've been doing it.
Absolutely, Chuck. And today, one of the changes that's happened is that so many of our adult learners are really from the backyard, what I like to think of as the backyard from this region. They come from a 75-mile to 90-mile radius. And I think what has been really special about that evolution over the last 15 years is they can see that they have access to this incredible education, accelerated learning. They can do it online, but they get the benefits of the on-ground because they're so close to Averett.
Right.
They can come to athletic events. They can be part of this community.
Yeah, it's just far enough away where a day-to-day commute's a bit onerous, but once a week, sure,
That's
why
right.
not?
That's right.
We're talking with Dr. Tiffany Franks, Averett University's president. Of course, All About Danville is presented by Wilkins and Company Realtors. And let's talk about specific programs. The one that's blown me away from having just formed in its infancy out of nothing to what we have now is that nursing program. Wow. From birth to late adulthood, I guess,
there you go.
In terms of that. What you guys are doing in the River District with training nurses is just remarkable. Again, it includes partnerships. It includes a lot of stuff. But it was birthed, no pun intended, just out of nothing 15-plus years ago. And now it is dozens upon dozens upon dozens of graduates in a field where we absolutely need it.
Yes.
I mean, talk about meeting a need.
Oh, I just, I'm so proud of what Averett has done in this area. So literally in the spring of 2009, faculty started giving voice to the strength that we had in the biomedical sciences area. Locally, regional partners were saying, this is a shortage, this is a need. I'm so thankful to many benefactors and donors who made it possible. And so, as you say, we gave birth to the Bachelor of Science in Nursing program. Could have never done it without such strong community partners. And just look at where we are today. Today, we have the full Bachelor of Science in Nursing program. That then gave way to the Masters of Science in Nursing and the FNP program. And here we are now with an accelerated Bachelor of Science in Nursing program in Norfolk. Today, this year, we have 170 students who are studying.
Is that right? Oh, I was thinking it was still about okay.
No,
wow.
It's 170 students.
Jeez, okay.
That's between here in this region, and then our Norfolk Nursing Learning Center, and then our graduate program. And when you just look at our graduates, they're all over, starting with this region.
They don't have a hard time finding jobs, do they?
No. People are begging for them. They have jobs before they ever graduate. So they're at SOVA, they're at Carilion, they're at Centra, they're at UVA Health, they're in Northern Virginia, they're all over the Commonwealth. They're in North Carolina. And, it's always hard to talk about when I think about those we love that are in intensive care, maybe at Duke, and yet they come back and they say, I had an Averett nurse with me in oncology, or I had an Averett nurse that was with me in ICU at Bowman Gray or Wake Forest Baptist, you name it, Moses Cone. We are all over.
And it is it's a need that's not going away anytime soon with the graying of the population, and it's nice to see the program is expanding to meet that expanded need that we're going to have over the next decade.
Well, and we couldn't have done it without all the wonderful
There's that word again,
healthcare
partnerships.
partners.
Exactly, yeah.
It is, because those hands-on learning experiences obviously are fundamental in nursing, but it takes a lot of clinical health partners to make this program go, and we are just incredibly thankful to everyone who makes it possible.
So much of what you guys have done, you use the word partnership, and that's, again, intentional, but it's also absolutely necessary in this day. And when we had Telly Tucker here from the Institute, we talked about partnerships.
Yes.
We talked about Lisa Merriweather with tourism partnerships. A community works better when its entities are not working in little boxes, and I think we collectively as a community have really learned that in the last generation. And Averett's been one of the reasons for that. You guys are very conspicuous partnering with DCC. Lots of colleges cooperate like the Hatfield and the McCoys, not here. ACC and Averett. And listen, DCC and Averett have been fast partners in more than a few things.
Oh, absolutely. It is about how DCC and Averett are locked arm in arm, and it's about how we increase access to education for the citizens of this region. It's about how we help prepare the workforce and meet the needs that this region says are most important. And so, no, we just lock arm in arm. We work together. And we've been doing that for years.
Yes.
And I'm really proud of the ways we work together today. You know, here we are. Averett's had such a strength in aeronautics for 40 years at least, maybe even longer. And there's a critical workforce shortage, not only for pilots, but for aviation maintenance workers. So we said, well, why can't we figure out a way to create a path?
If only there were a community college nearby that did that kind of boom. Right. There you go.
So here we come, and we have found a way to do this together. It couldn't be going any better. And I also would say Danville Community College and Averett together, when you think about what our institutions do to bring the arts, to bring athletics, to bring cultural programming. There's so much more than the educational access, but that educational access and workforce preparation are at the very top of why it's important that we do meaningful work together.
You mentioned the aeronautics piece. By the way, Averett's got quite a bit of history in terms of flying. When I was a little kid, and I had an uncle's friend had a plane over there, I remember seeing the old Averett stickers on a lot of the planes just as a little 6-year-old walking through there. But yeah, you guys have more than just a presence at the airport now. You're now what's called the fixed-base operator at Danville Regional Airport. Tell everybody what that means. It means you do a lot of stuff over there, basically.
Well, yeah. I mean, I like to think of us as we are a full-service operation at the Danville Regional Airport. And you mentioned the fixed-based operator, and what is that? A fixed-based operator means that AU Aviation Services is caring for the planes, the passengers, and the pilots. Every one of those.
Pretty much all the important pieces.
All the important pieces, we're caring for those as they come in and out of our Danville Regional Airport. I like to think of us really as a window into the community.
That's exactly what you are. You're the entry point, the gateway for a lot of people. A couple of them have $1 or $2. Yeah, to come to the area, the first thing they're going to see are your people.
Well, that, and the first thing they're going to see is our commitment to making a lasting impression. We want everyone that visits this community to see the hospitality of our region. We want them to see the service. I mean, we are offering, I would argue, just incredible service at the airport, and we are getting so many compliments for the work that is happening there. But we take very seriously the fact that every person coming in and out of here will have a lasting impression of our community because of how we serve them. And that's whether it is how we take care of their car while they're
just
away,
little things,
food
sure.
That's waiting on them when they go to get on that plane, food that's waiting on them as they arrive, whether it is just all the connections we help make for them, whether it's the rental car service we provide, you name it, we're going to do it well.
And you're offering students, of course, a chance, here we go again, the hands-on, real-world type education that simply can't be replicated in a class setting.
Oh, it cannot. And that was an exciting opportunity for us when the conversation started about the possibility of Averett becoming the fixed-based operator, the opportunity to expand that learning lab so that students who were preparing to manage and lead in aeronautics or to fly planes, which so many of them do, the opportunity to be hands-on with grounds management and
doing all those little things you don't think about and certainly isn't covered in a textbook.
No, and we want to make certain that the people that are flying our aircraft know what's involved on the ground.
That's the best place to learn, not up here. Just saying.
I would say amen. Yeah. Amen. And, so our aviation program, we're at 110 majors today.
Wow.
And it's just, it's an exciting program. And then with the partnership with Danville Community College, we announced a partnership with Hargrave Military Academy just a couple weeks ago. So, here come their cadets who have the opportunity for that dual enrollment, that opportunity to become pilots and to get started.
Averett was probably ahead of the curve in comparison to some universities when it came to embracing, in the late 90s, the non-traditional student, online, distance learning, whatever you want to call it then. Of course, now it's, with technology so much better, it's a whole lot easier now. But you guys really embraced that early on. And as a result, the average Averett student in 1988 and 2023 is just a little bit of difference, isn't there?
Well, yes, there's been a lot of changes, but I think the biggest change in our student body since I came in 2008, they come from all over the world. This year, Chuck, we've got students from 25 states, 26 countries, and one territory this year. Okay. That's Puerto Rico. So it's been exciting to see the international diversity that they come literally from all around the world. But here is what's really special. Today, 30% of our students come from the region. That's up from, in 2008, it was either 10% or 11%. Okay. That is a giant increase. So even though we have this incredibly diverse student body from around the world, we've had such growth in the number of students from this region. Now, a number of those, there's certainly the traditional age student, 18 to 21. Many of them are also our what we would call non-traditional learners. And I would say that has also changed. Our non-traditional learner, while they range in age from 21, this year we could have somebody in their 70s who will graduate in May, which is always so special. Love that. The average age, about 70% of our non-traditional learners today range in age from 20 to 39. So they've gotten younger. And I think part of that is because so many citizens, so many people across the Commonwealth and really the country started working toward a degree at some point, and then life gets in the way.
Sure, got sidetracked. Someone got sick, had to go to work and do something. Yeah,
that's right.
Yeah.
And so we try to be there for them, regardless what stage they're in, if you will.
And I think Averett was ahead of the curve in that, in a lot of respects. Again, I've been, of course, reporting on your distance learning for many years now, and not everybody did that, but just wonderful outreach. And again, today's students demand flexibility from you. Used to be the class schedule, stone tablets, Moses, Mount Sinai, thou shalt go to class at 3 p.m., That's not the case anymore.
That is not the case. and I would also say the range of program offerings we have has dramatically changed. For the non-traditional learner, we have over 24 different programs and certifications for them to choose from.
That's more than you had for the non-traditionals just not long ago.
That's exactly right. And, I think another way our student body has changed is I think we're at about 35% of our student body today are the first in their families to go to college.
That is an interesting number, yeah.
And many people don't think about that.
Yeah.
And I would just tell you, we are so privileged to be able to walk side by side with students and families for whom this is their first time to go to college.
That is a special thing.
Oh, it's special. And not only does it change the student's life, it changes their family's life. And I would argue it ultimately changes the community.
Sure it does.
One student at a time. We've also seen, we've talked about nursing. So here we are today with 170 students.
I was still thinking it was around 100. It's 170 now.
So that's
Blinking, it'll be 200.
That's a change. 110 aeronautics majors. That used to be somewhere around 70. So, I could go on and on, but we've seen lots of changes in our student body in those really meaningful ways.
One of the most conspicuous changes really in the last generation at the university has been the extracurricular activities in general, sports in particular. I remember as a kid, my dad took me to an Averett basketball game on the old gym, West Main, and I went, but I saw the NCAA sticker, and I was like, that's right. This is NCAA college basketball. And not a lot of people made that connection. But now, of course, sports at Averett looks a little different than it did back in the 70s there with the handsome North Campus, Frank Campbell Stadium for football, and the new sports offerings. It seems like y'all are adding one about as often as you change gas in the car. I mean, but it's fun. It's a lot of the traditional and non-traditional sports, but you guys are going whole hog in there, and it has been an amazing metamorphosis to watch.
Oh, it is. I smile large when I think about athletics and what it means to our students, what it means to this region, what it means to Division III athletics. I would say if folks in Danville have not been to our North Campus and enjoyed an athletic event,
come out there for a football game on Saturday night. It is rapidly becoming the place to be in Danville on Saturday night. I ain't kidding.
And know because you're in there announcing.
I'm loving it.
Our webcast. Oh, you do the best job, and we can't thank you enough. But when you come to an Averett athletic event, your people experience great athletic competition.
Sure.
First of all, they experience family fun. Friendly family events. They experience great spirit, great entertainment. To me, it's just remarkable. You mentioned our sports editions. Today we have 22 NCAA varsity sports.
Not long ago, it was 6 or 7, and not terribly long ago.
Yeah,
that's amazing.
Well, so. Over the past 7 years or so, here's what we've added. We've added men's and women's lacrosse. We've added men's wrestling. We've added women's golf, indoor-outdoor track and field, and we're thrilled. We were able to do that because of our community partnership with George Washington High School. Yeah. Good for George Washington High School. Good for Averett. I love that our students at George Washington High School will be able to see a collegiate NCAA Division III track program. I think that just shows the possible for them.
Sure.
Then most recently, we announced men's volleyball to build on our decades of being a powerhouse in women's volleyball. We've added club sports. We were the first varsity esports program.
Right. That still blows my mind. I played esports all the time.
There you go. We're proud of that. We're proud of competitive dance, which we've added. So it goes. I'm proud of how our goal has been to adapt to where young people are really, which sports are really popular.
Right.
So our goal is to always meet students where they are and really identify those areas of passion. So it's just fabulous. And when you're on that North Campus, you mentioned the Frank Campbell Stadium. It's second to none.
That's as nice as you're going to find.
Division II, Division III athletics.
Yeah.
Find another facility that can rival that one.
I've been in a lot of them. They don't.
No.
Simple as that. You got to go to Liberty University to find one that rivals it, and of course that's just scope.
Right.
But for D3. Hands down.
We do, and I'm so proud of our student athletes, and we're very clear, student first.
Oh, yeah.
And we talked about community volunteerism and community engagement. Our students are all over this community.
You have some committed coaches there that are insisting on that, and it shows.
And we want the youth of this community to have that exposure to NCAA athletes and know that that's possible for them.
Yeah. And it's been, the larger cultural transformation that's brought about is what has stunned me. I mean, adding sports is great, no doubt, but you guys have added that culture up there. Again, the football being the most conspicuous example. If you'd have told me 20 years ago I'd be able to walk through Averett on a homecoming football afternoon and just see the same sights, smaller scale, but same sights that I do when I go see Virginia Tech play football. It is super to have that here in town. The smells of the tailgate, the smoke coming up, people playing cornhole. It is a super atmosphere, and it is all Averett.
It is, and nothing pleases me more than hearing people talk about having to park at the mall and ride in a shuttle or park at Walmart. I'm like, yes, they're walking on Mount Cross Road.
I had people stop me to give them a ride into the stadium when I came in. I had a car full. They were just.
I love it. Well, yeah, and the game day experience is very special, very unique, and we really appreciate all the community support we get, and we look forward to another year of just great athletic events. But you mentioned the smells and the sights. I mean, tailgating galore, food trucks galore. We've started bringing in DJs, bands, so it's a festive. It's a day of entertainment.
It's a fun day.
It's a fun day.
You get there 3 hours before, then you got 3 hours of football game. You've had a whole day of entertainment that you just simply are not going to find anywhere else. It is fun.
Now, you're right. Get there in the morning. Spend the day. I laugh when I think about homecoming. We have some who get there in the middle of the night or wee hours of the morning, 3 a.m. to start cooking their pig.
Well, you got to have 12 hours in the pit, they say.
That's right.
It all tastes good, but no, it underscores again the student experience. You want them to have the great experience, but again, the community experience.
We're the hometown university.
Yeah.
And I would say every game, that whether it's basketball, football, you name it, we're always trying to honor the people of this region, whether it is our emergency responders, whether it's our teachers.
Every football game has a theme that is local, professional type thing.
That's right.
You also at Averett have been very upfront and obvious in supporting military veterans. Consistently rank high in by people who know what the heck they're talking about in terms of having educational opportunities available to the military community and to veterans. You guys you are second to none in that.
Oh, we are so thankful for our active duty men and women of the military, to our veterans. Always at each of our commencements, I ask for any graduate, their family, or anyone in the audience to stand and be recognized so that we can honor them for their service to the military. And I am always in awe of how many people are standing. We have been recognized year after year of being one of the nation's most military-friendly colleges and
that's because of your flexibility. You were ahead of the curve on that.
Well, we were. And here's I think, some of the reasons why we get that recognition. We match what's called the Yellow Ribbon Campaign fully. And a lot of schools don't do 100% match. And we have a number of services that support our veterans. We have special scholarships for our men and women of the military, active duty and veterans, and it's a culture. It truly is a culture of support and gratitude and honor.
It's an honor to talk to Dr. Tiffany Franks, President of Averett University. You're watching All About Danville, presented as a service of Wilkins and Company Realtors. If I'd asked you to look into your crystal ball 15 years ago when you first got here and tell me what life at Averett's going to be like in 2023, you probably would have struggled. What's life going to be like 15 years from now? We are at a wild intersection of history here for everybody. Things don't look like they did just a few years ago. what's going to happen? Can you tell me?
Oh, gosh, if I could tell us what's going to happen, I would.
But you got. I mean, we're starting metaverse stuff at Averett now.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's right. I think this time in Danville is as exciting as it has ever been, and I am thrilled for Averett to be right in the middle of it, continually responding to what this region needs, not only today, but what it's going to need for the future. You mentioned the metaverse. We're thrilled.
That's wild, isn't it?
It is absolutely wild. And at first I was really, I'd find myself thinking, this is not easy to explain. Then I had a real expert who
tell me what the expert said, because I'm having trouble explaining it too.
So I had an expert say, if somebody tells you they fully understand the metaverse, they really don't. So that helped. But the metaverse, it is what we think of as immersion. It's not only it's not only allowing people, say, to imagine what it's like to run out on Daly Field at the Frank Campbell Stadium, but we can actually, we're actually in the midst of doing what's called digitizing the North Campus so that people who want to imagine what it's like to run out on the Daly Field, say we've got somebody at GW High School, they're thinking about coming to Averett. Well, now you're going to be able to know what it's like to run out on that field.
They already know that. We had to play there last year. I'm sorry, I couldn't resist that. I could not resist that.
That's true.
But you're right, though. I mean, it's so wild.
Or to fly an Averett airplane, or to ride a horse at our equestrian center, or to be in a sim lab with nursing. So it allows true immersion. One of the things I'm so excited about right now is we have almost 20 students doing an internship in the metaverse. They're working with a gentleman whose name is Jose Arriata, and he has been one of the nation's leaders in terms of the metaverse. But here are our students working with leaders around the United States. We Zoom them in every week to work with these 20 students who are mapping the campus. They're digitizing the campus. They're developing an app that will allow people to go in and immerse themselves, if you will, in Web 3.0. Think about it like
that.
It's
almost
3.0.
If you play Pokemon, maybe the Pokemon world. That's kind of where we got the term metaverse from. But there's more practical applications. You announced a partnership with Dalrada, I think, last year, and the metaverse, while it's space age, you can use it to maximize energy efficiency, little things like that.
Who would have thought? But it's happening. Yes, our partnership with Dalrada, we have completely, we're within, I think we have one building to go. All lighting has been replaced on the campus.
Which is amazing,
we're reducing our carbon footprint literally by the hour right now. So,
and no one's going cold or hot or hungry. I mean, because everything's still getting done, but it's just 90% more efficient.
It's just more efficient. That's exactly right. And then in May, we will install what's called Lakido heat pumps, which will give us much greater energy efficiency. And it is connected to the Web 3.0.
So if there's a place that it doesn't need it, it shuts it off and you're not burning. Yeah, it's
that
amazing.
Artificial intelligence is being used in ways that this is a first of its kind in the nation to use that Web 3.0 capability with these heat pumps. So it's very exciting.
Amazing. You cut down your power bill and have cool access to the metaverse.
Well,
it's awesome.
And the fact that our students are able to be part
they know this. So people like us, we're like, we got to learn it after fact.
Well, in fact, the students doing the internship will soon be coming to work with me to install the app and help me develop my own digital twin. Right.
So I'm not ready for that yet, but I will be one day.
They're going to help me get ready.
And also, I mean, in terms of just latching on to what's going on, you guys have been pivotal with that little casino that's coming to town. It's a natural for Averett to be, again, what better way to teach opportunities in the hospitality industry than by partnering with the biggest hospitality entity Danville has ever seen. It was a natural partnership.
Well, again, I think it goes back to we don't start anything at Averett University without saying Is this good for this region? Is it what the region needs? And in this case, the region said, we're bringing Caesars, Virginia. And we said, all right, we know there's going to be major workforce needs. And so Caesars and Averett locked arm in arm and sacrifices to start new restaurants, open hotels, do things to expand our tourism emphasis. And so we invited all of those people to be part of this because it's not just
unprecedented opportunity.
Oh no, we have to seize this opportunity, and already those in our hospitality and tourism industry, people throughout this region find their way into this incredible industry that allows people to start on the front line, whether it's working on the front line of a restaurant all the way to being a CEO of a hospitality company.
A whole lot of CEOs started off washing dishes. That's exactly the way it goes.
That's exactly how it goes. So from certificates and badges to face-to-face, a 4-year degree, they can do it face-to-face, they can do it online. We know that people thinking about careers in hospitality are really going to come from all different shapes and sizes, if you will.
Because the industry is so pervasive, we don't realize that.
We don't. So we're really trying to be agile, creative, innovative. We have been, our new program director has been out listening to all of our business owners in hospitality. And so we're crafting a program to really meet the needs and to really elevate hospitality throughout. We've always been good about hospitality in this region. You know, Joe and I came 15 years ago, and we will tell you that we just felt so welcomed and blessed to be part of this place. Imagine as we put more resources and intentionality into preparing this workforce. Oh, this community, we're already shining bright. The sky is the limit for what we can do here.
All right, so when the casino, like the big cheese from Caesars comes in, they fly into Danville, they're going to be met by Averett. When they go to the casino to check things out, it's going to be a lot of people there trained directly or indirectly through Averett. And when they leave, the Averett FBO will take care of them there. And in between, they can go see a football game. Again, that's in community involvement at just about every turn there.
Exactly. And I would add, Caesars, when they hired their first top 3 execs for Caesars, Virginia, 3 of them were Averett graduates. CFO, chief of security, and...
Sorry, Dean Hairston,
there was one other.
That's okay.
Director of HR.
Awesome.
All 3 Averett alumni. I mean, our alumni are just all over this community, and I'm so proud of what they do, whether they're teaching, whether they're in banking and finance, whether they're running nonprofits, you name it. I could go on and on. You said at the beginning, it's hard to get me to stop. Sorry.
There's so much good to talk about, though, and that's the thing. Thank you so much. I mean, this has been just stuff I know, but when you put it all in the aggregate like that, you guys at Averett, be it West Main or North Side or out by the airport, are just doing wonderful things. And it's been wild as someone who's been a community member for this long to watch the school evolve alongside the city, and in some cases, we're well ahead of the curve, but we needed someone like you to come in and to cement that partnership. And thank you for doing that. Even if your husband roots too hard for Clemson football, that's okay. I forgive Joe. But it's been a wonderful thing to watch you and to watch Averett grow. I mean, this little bitty school here all of a sudden now has got its claws in just so much essential stuff in the community, and that's not an accident.
Well, I just have to say, Chuck, thank you for everything you just said. I'm a small piece of all this. I am surrounded by an incredible faculty, staff, senior leadership, board of trustees, many donors. I always brag about this community, too, because the community supports us in so many ways. We're in it together. Again, we're about making each other stronger.
And that's what All About Danville is. All about celebrating what Danville has to offer. Again, hopefully this is help more than just the prospective Danville visitor or prospective Danville resident, but also those of you like me who've been here for some time, just to remind you of what a wonderful thing we have in Averett University. And go out to one of the football games next year. Folks, you're not going to be disappointed. It is superb.
Or a theater event or a band concert.
Yes.
Oh. Gosh, I could go on and on.
We do have limited hard drive space, though. Tiffany Franks of Averett University. You've been watching and listening to All About Danville, a service of Wilkins and Company Realtors. On behalf of Hampton Wilkins, I'm Chuck Vipperman. Take care, everyone.